5 to 6. Set up in the blind again. It's kind of drizzling again. Kind of picked up a little bit more. Just got in. Still got to get my bow ready and reposition the camera. Yesterday on the way out, there's one that was, or way in I should say, there's one gobbling to the south of me, or where I was going to set up. And I just kind of let him gobble. He would kind of go every, I don't know, 3-4 minutes I think, and he'd gobble. Ended up calling a couple times to him. He'd never respond right after me. I'd kind of call right after he would, just to see if he'd strike up again. At one point it did sound like there might have been 2 there, because they're like right after each other and they kind of sound just a little bit apart. But then it got a little bit lighter and they just kind of went quiet. About 6:45 I'm sitting here and I happen to just look out and I just see this big black object. It's a big black bear walking. He walks right to my decoys and he sits there and smells my jade decoy, and then he kind of just stands there and looks around, kind of looks towards the blind and looks up to the lake, and stood there for a second just kind of watching him, and then he turns and kind of trots away into the woods, and you could see he was limping on his right front paw. But then I'm sitting here and it was about, I think, almost 7:30, and the one gobbled again, but he had moved kind of to the west, or to the east a little bit, but he's still pretty far away. So I did a few calls to him again and never responded to my calls, and ended up just not hearing anyone gobble again. So there's one that just struck up about 5 minutes ago. I'm not sure if that was the same one, but we just had one gobble again. That almost sounded like it was over just a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of finish setting up a little bit, do a few calls and let them know I'm over here, and so once they pitch down they can kind of head my way. This guy came in about, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. I was hearing a few gobbles from the south, and they weren't really responding to my calls, but they were kind of gobbling here and there. Then I heard one strike up from the north. Ended up calling to him a couple times, kind of leaning out the window. He still wasn't responding right to my calls. Then I kind of noticed the calls were getting closer and closer, so I ended up looking out the window, and about 40 yards away, he's walking down the same trail that I come in on, so I got everything set up. Came in strutting, got behind my Jake decoy, and waited till he was looking at me. Ended up taking my shot with Magnus bullhead and ended up expiring right away. The nice thing about it is that it happened real early now, and so I can kind of take my time now, get pictures, get all my measurements for him and find out how big he is. He looks pretty nice. Decent size, probably 9-inch beard. He actually has some good spurs on him. And now relax for the rest of the season, basically until next year, and not have to worry about rushing out and trying to get here and set up and all that stuff. So very thankful that I was able to get out and get him today. It was drizzling, didn't think anything might come out and start gobbling or even make its way here, but there's actually more gobbles today than it was yesterday, and yesterday was pretty nice. So I'm gonna get some photos and get this guy out of here.